Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Becca. Today I am doing 20 books that I want to read in 2020. This is a video that I had gotten the idea from Brittany the Bibliophile. I'll go ahead and link her down below. These books are in no order at all. It's just 20 books that I want to read this year. And yeah, so the first book that I'm holding up is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clair. It's the first book in the Infernal Devices. I haven't read this series since it came out. I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite reads. And so I want to reread the trilogy before she comes out with her new book, which is supposed to be about the children of these characters in this series. The next book is Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clair. This is book 2 in the Infernal Devices series. And like I said before, I really want to read this trilogy before the new book comes out, and I haven't read it in so long. I just remember how much I loved it, and I can't wait to get into it again. Bet you can't guess what I'm gonna say for my next book. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clair. Book 3 in the Infernal Devices series. This is the conclusion to this era of these characters. You know, obviously we have lots of stories based upon this world, but this is the third and final in this trilogy, and I remember loving it. I can't wait to get into it. So yeah, and I love this one. I just have to show you really quick. This one has the inside cover of the family tree. Okay, my next reread is Trylle. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is by Amanda Hocking. This is actually 3 books in one, but I'm only counting it as one book since they're all combined together. It is the the trilogy of Switched, Torn, and Ascend. And I'm really sorry about my wind chimes are being very obnoxious right now. This is a story about a changeling. I read a lot of books about Fae, and usually you see a lot of changeling things in the Fae. Well, this is about trolls, and it's not the kind of trolls that you're thinking about. So this is probably, you know, my top 3 favorite series. Absolutely loved it, and I haven't read it in many years, so I'm excited. Also, Amanda Hocking is coming out with another trilogy based on this world. She does already have this one and another trilogy based upon the world, but she's coming out with a third one this year. So I really want to get back into the world, remember it, and I loved it, so I'm gonna read it again. The rest of my books that I have for my 20 books in 2020, they are books that you're gonna say, holy crap, why haven't you read these books yet? They are all hyped books that have come out in the recent years. No, I haven't read them. I went through a phase where I would only read specific authors, and so now I'm branching out into new authors. I have read this author, which is Merissa Meyer, and but I haven't read the Renegades series yet. This is also a sci-fi type read, which I am not a big sci-fi reader. However, I did love the Lunar Chronicles, and so I'm branching out into different areas, and hopefully I'll love this as much as everybody else did. And this is one I haven't read yet. It's And I Darken by Kierston White. I've heard a lot of good things about this trilogy. I've also heard some not so good things. So I want to, since I know the author and I like the author, I don't know her personally, I shouldn't say that. Since I have read books based on this author before and I've enjoyed it, I look forward to reading, you know, at least the first book in the trilogy. The next book is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I've never read anything by Neal Shusterman, and that probably might shock you guys. But I have heard a lot of really good things about this. This is on the top hyped books list. Well, I don't know if there's actually a list out there, but this is a very hyped on BookTube, so I'm gonna read it. This one is The Night Circus by Erin Morngenstern. I did start reading this last month. However, for circumstances, I wasn't able to get very far into it. So I did put it down at that time. However, this is a book that I definitely want to get into and have completely finished by the end of 2020. It is a beautiful world. The circus is fabulous, and I was really enjoying it. It's just the plot was very, very slow, and it kind of jumps around quite a bit between the chapters, and that's something that also is not something that I like to read. I'm going to be giving this book my all and all of my attention because I've heard so many great reviews on it. I think once I just get through it and finish it, I'm going to have a completely different opinion upon it. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Here is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I don't remember a whole lot about this book. It is a huge hyped book. This is going to be a trend on this video. A lot of hyped books that I haven't gotten to. It's a beautiful cover. This is the US cover. The next one is an author that I have never read before, and it's going to shock you. I bet. It is V.E. Schwab. I have never read anything by V.E. Schwab, and I figured that A Darker Shade of Magic, which has been hyped all over BookTube, is a good place to start. It sounds really, really good, and it's piqued my interest. I want to be on that train with y'all. The next one is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdiea. This is supposed to be the next upcoming vampire series. However, I have heard that this book doesn't really have much vampire in it at all. However, her next book comes out this year, and I really enjoy a good vampire book, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. This is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I have never read anything by Libba Bray before, and so I am looking forward to getting into more works. So anyway, this is Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I can't remember anything about this book, just the fact that I really, really, really wanted to read it. So I'm gonna. So the next one is The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I have read one book by this author. I really enjoyed it. It is a series that I plan on continuing, and it's the Grishaverse. So anyhow, this one is The Ninth House, and it is an adult book. It is not a young adult book. It is an adult book. There was some controversy about that. However, it still has a great plot line that I'm looking forward to reading, and I'll tell you about it if I like it. Also by Libba Bray is The Diviners. No, I have not read this yet. Yes, I really, really am looking forward to reading it. I've heard this one is amazing. She just came out with the 4th book in this series, which I think is the final book in this series this year. I know this one is about people with magical powers, and that's about it. Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This one is just about a girl who protects a library, and I believe the books all have their own essence or personalities. They have their own souls. And who doesn't want to read a book about books with souls? Because I treat my books like they are their own people and they are my children, even though my children are jealous that I tell my books that they are my children, because I love them. So they don't argue back with me and I don't have to feed them. So anyway, next on my list is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowel. This is a contemporary. I'm not a big contemporary reader, but you know, this one has had so many reviews, so many great reviews, I should say. And yeah, and who doesn't love a contemporary romance type book with a book that has the green edges? I just love it. It's a beautiful book. And another contemporary is Geekerella by Ashley Poston? Poston. And I believe this one is a contemporary retelling. It's a romance. And I've heard a lot of good things about this. I'm looking forward to reading this book. You know, it'll be a good summertime book, I think. The next one you're gonna get a kick out of. Okay, so most of the time you have books that are turned into movies. Well, this one started out as a TV show that came out with the book. And it is the wonderful TV show Castle. And in the TV show, Richard Castle, the lead actor, is an author, and he follows around a police officer, and he uses her for inspiration to write these books. I did not know that they came out with the books. Holy crap, I am so excited. So this is Heatwave, and it is written by Richard Castle. Richard Castle. I know he probably didn't actually write these books. They were probably written by a ghostwriter. However, they have not given any credit to any other writer other than Richard Castle himself. But because I am a geeky fangirl myself, and I absolutely love the TV series, I am looking forward to reading more about Nikki Heat. This book in particular was referred to me by a booktuber by the name of The Book Pusher. That's her channel. Her name is Madi. She is phenomenal. I love her channel. She cracks me up. She makes me think about the different things that I want to read, and she's broadened my reading palette. So the book that was recommended is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, I think is how that is pronounced. And I know it has like genies in it, but they are not like your Aladdin type genies. Yeah, she has read this a few times. She absolutely loved it. I decided, what the heck, I'll give it a try, see if our tastes align. And it's a very pretty book. It looks very interesting just based upon the cover. And so yeah, looking forward to reading it. The last book, number 20 in my 20 books to read in 2020, is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This is one that it has been everywhere. It's been all over BookTube. It has been all over the internet, all over Goodreads. You guys are probably thinking, why have I not read this one yet? And it's because I have never read anything by J. Kristoff. I live in a little bubble when I read, and so I am venturing out of my bubble. And I'm really excited. I found this book on eBay. It's a signed first edition. There's the signature right there. And it is about an assassin going to an assassin school. It sounds quite exciting and very intriguing. It's like the lead female is very sassy, and I love books where you have lead character females who go against the norm. They are very outspoken. They are very crass. They cuss. They, they don't take crap from people. They go outside the box of what people think that women or females should be. And so I really like that kind of trope. And so I'm looking forward to reading that in this book. And so yeah, my dog is snoring. I'm really sorry. That is my last book in my 20 books to read in 2020. Thank you so much for joining me. That was really exciting, really fun. I can't wait to discuss these books with you after I have read them, and give you my opinion and whether I liked them, whether I thought the hype was real or not, and let you know on my rereads if I still love them as much as the first time that I read them. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and just hit the bell icon. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.